So this morning I have my crew here and a pile of cool toys, and what we're going to do is maybe the second formal session about this. What we're going to be working on specifically, what I want to talk about is programming a positive emotional response to novel stimulus. So those three things there are new to the puppies. They haven't ever seen them. We're building Pavlov's dog here. So a puppy that is faced with something new that hasn't been taught what we're about to teach will react first and think later. He will bark, he will spin away, he'll do any number of things depending on the level of stimulus. But his brain won't be thinking first, he'll react first, and then he'll come back and he'll think and he'll check it out. We can program these puppies by clicks and treats and the fact that they are little sponges that learn so fast and are so willing to play games with us. We can teach them instead that when they see something new, they should go and look at it because it's the coolest thing, and string cheese and baked chicken and things like that are probably going to show up, and it is just a great opportunity. So instead of seeing it as something like, whoa, and then go back, they go, wow, it's that game, this is wonderful. And this is just silly stuff. It's just an excuse or a way to teach this. But think about this. The dog as an adult is out in the field. He hears a noise that's over the South 40. Do you want that dog to bark and then think about it? Or do you want the dog to think about, I wonder if that matters? Yep or no? A dog like that is not as noisy, is not as, a dog like that is a thinking partner on the ranch instead of a reactive canine that's doing what canines know how to do, which is look after themselves first and then think about things. So we are also going to support these dogs and reinforce them for what we've already taught them that they've gotten really good at teaching us to do, which is pay. So their clickable behaviors are this. Clickable behaviors are eye contact with us, because a dog that's looking at you is giving you his brain. And a dog that will do that with any kind of consistency is a dog that you can do a gesture to, or say something to, or ask something of, and you already got the attention of the dog. You don't have to do something to get the dog's attention. He's already watching you. That's really easy and nice if you cultivate it from the beginning. You don't have to go get the dog and do training, because the dog's already at your feet going, what's today? What are we going to do today? So that's a really nice thing. So we build that in right here, and you've been watching us do that. These puppies know how to mand. Some of them are shameless little manders, and they will stay in one spot and expect you to just keep paying and not even walk away because they're so beautiful at manding. So we will do that to a point, and then we will walk off and move on, and we'll go do something else with them. So we may, to teach manding, we clicked and paid every single time. Now that manding has been learned, we will reinforce that a variety of ways. We may click and pay, or we may just tell them they're wonderful, or we may pop a piece of chicken in their mouth or whatever, but it can be inconsistent at this point, the reward, because they've learned the behavior. So it's teaching the behavior that requires the consistency. So with this stuff, as is always true with any of the training that we do, the pups are in charge. So if they don't want to play this game, they don't have to. And if I happen to have a bunch of sleepy dogs or it's too warm outside, we may get 6 of 12 that decide to do this adventure with us. And so I may not need all 3 toys. We may do 1 toy or whatever. But criteria for clicking is this, that they walk outside and look at it, that gets clicked, that they take a step towards it gets clicked, that they interact with it at all gets clicked. Any kind of willingness to investigate something that's new, that might be scary, or not, just that they're willing to go and check it out. So we build a positive experience to a brand new thing. New thing shows up, chicken shows up. This is a wonderful situation. It's very easy to do. It's really fun. In my personal opinion, one of the coolest puppy toys in the whole wide world is a fabric tunnel. And I don't know whether these guys are at that age yet or not to really party through it, but sometimes that's a whole lot of fun to watch. So my clicker trainers are we're going to put these things out there, and then I'm going to try to do that in a sneaky fashion so the puppies stay here. And then we'll walk out with the puppies and we'll let the puppies discover these things, and we will be ready to click and reward for the behaviors that I described. Lost my train of thought. What am I forgetting?
I think you got it.
No, there was something else. Oh, this is it. So puppy culture likes to say that you want an automatic response from a puppy when there's a novel situation to look at you. And for a companion dog, that's a very handy thing. You're walking a dog on a leash out across the park, something spooky happens, the dog looks up into your eyes. You have some connection with that dog. I want my guard dogs, if there's a stimulus somewhere, I want them to go check that out. And then I'd like them to come back and check in with me. One of the things that happened last year that's going to get changed this year is that we did all this programming with novel stimulus. We were so good at it that anything new in the dog's environment as they were 6 and 7 and 8 and 10 months old created a party in the dog. I was here one day and I needed to put a bale of straw in. I set the bale, or a bale of shavings, and I set the bale down, and I had to just simply leave the stall because it disappeared under a pile of puppies that were sure it was a novel stimulus event, and it was wonderful, and it took them about 10 minutes to leave. And then I snuck in and I opened it up, and they heard me open it up, and I jumped back out again, and there was a party with shavings everywhere. That was pretty entertaining to watch. However, if I go in with a tractor or a mower, or I have a job to do, I need that puppy to not be afraid of that new thing, but to also be willing to leave. So we're going to change the game this year. We're going to pay for interacting, and we're not going to do that with any kind of cue attached because that's a volunteered behavior on the part of the pups. But we're going to build in a handle to this litter of pups. So when these pups walk away from this, we are going to, and this is a little bit of a backwards order maybe, but this is going to be how I choose to do this. When the pup decides to leave, we're going to say, leave it, click treat, and then walk away with the puppy a little bit. We're going to program in the ability to ask the dog to say, okay, you're done checking this out, now we go back to work. Because I wish I had done that with the last ones and I was able to come in later and do it, but it's very easy to do it at this point because puppies have short attention spans. They'll play with this stuff for a couple of minutes and then they'll leave on their own. And if we're watching and we click treat, if we say, leave it, click treat, and the puppy keeps going, we've attached a name to that behavior, and it'll be really easy, not very long from now, to ask for that behavior. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go set this all up, and then you'll see me again. We are about to do transition 3 with these puppies and take them into the creek field, which is behind me. We have sleepy puppies, so I'm going to go give a hand about getting them out here.
And Olivia already knows because we already talked.
We have mostly sleepy puppies, and so we're having to carry them puppy by puppy out here to play with us because they don't know that something cool is going on. Look how drunk and sleepy that baby is. Oh, there's a waggy tail. Notice that there's something going on. Well, maybe it's worth waking up for. There's friends across the creek. Those guys are having a good time.
Can you see that they look relaxed? They look confident.
So these guys are doing beautifully, and that green pup up on the bank is the overachiever, and he's done that before. He is going, oh, he's going to poo, never mind. He was also doing a perimeter check. The purple tail girl up there along the fence line is working. These other little guys down here in a heap are playing silly games, but they're very comfortably interacting in this new environment. Here this guy goes off on a very purposeful search, being joined by this one.
Yeah, there you go. Worth the wait.
Boy, once they get here, it's good.
Wow. Yeah.
It's cavort and gamble around there. So this is, unless they played down here last night without me watching, which is possible, this is the first time that these guys have seen a hill or any, variety of things that is true of this field, which is why it's not one of the very first transitions. Boy, we got a bunch of party goers out here now. Very nice. So our goal here is to give the puppies something new and challenging and have them, first of all, not be afraid of it is nice, but also to have them choose to investigate it and own it. I want them ultimately to come into new areas and willingly on their own do perimeter checks, go to work. When in doubt, you can do whatever. But as a general rule, when you click out here like this, when we're trying to teach them to engage in property, you take the focus from their ownership of the ground to you. So if you need to lend support, then you're a port in a storm, you're a safe place, and that's a good thing to do, and then reorient them back. But if they're handling it on their own, then you don't want to pull them out of that mindset and make you the business. These guys up on the hill, that's nice. Very, very nice. So that's Rosie and Sabrina that I threw out on the other side of the fence because I want these puppies to not have to think about things other than themselves. I don't want them to have to think about the older dogs or sheep with them. I want them to just be able to investigate this on their own. Those guys are a riot. So in the background we have sheep racing like crazy people, up and down and all over the place. And I have 2 young dogs that the camera is pointed at that are absolutely not giving chase. They are not winding up and joining in the fray with those sheep. They're letting the sheep play and they're ignoring them, and that's just what they're supposed to do. It's marvelous. Very, very nice.
Yeah, Greentail is very nervous.
Who's that?
The Greentail.
Where is it? Where is that puppy? Back there?
Now, because it's gone.
Okay. Can you hear them?
What do you think?
Those sheep are just partying.
What's fascinating is last time when you opened up the field and the dog with the green tail was one of the first dogs out, and you told me some days they'll be the first and some days they'll be the last.
They may be going through a fear period too. I have my suspicion about that, and they'll do that individually. Yep, that's a reticent pup.
Yeah.
Good call, Barry.
Yeah.
So that click startled that baby, Krista.
I realized that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that it would have yesterday. Barry, stand to one side or the other, please. So this puppy is more concerned than the other puppies, although he's gaining his ground a little bit. When Krista clicked, he flinched, and he's loved that click from the beginning. His body is low, he's being tentative, he's moving back and forth a little bit, he's not sure. He's thinking about it. Now he's getting a little looser, a little wigglier, picking up his pace a little bit. Krista's going to go down and be close enough that she's safe and familiar for him. There's other people down there waiting for him. The other puppies are having a great time, but he's still unsure. He's still low and slow. He's being cautious. So it's nice that he has our support, their support, puppy support. Just kind of just be watchful with him, Krista, and be there in case he needs you.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay out here with these puppies for however long that they decide to be awake and investigating. When I do these transitions the first few times, I don't like to let the puppies go to sleep in these new areas because I don't want them to wake up somewhere they're not familiar with because I may not be there, and I don't want them to wake up and be startled. So I'll let them play for a little bit, and when they start to get sleepy, we'll truck them all back home again and let them go have sweet dreams about this fun adventure that they had.
Good boy.